Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode, the debut of Village of Shadows, a new D&D campaign. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that little bell to be notified when I post again. And if you aren't doing so already, check me on Twitch, Dungeons with Shepherd, link in the description below. Alright, so, last time? There wasn't a last time, this is new.
Last time in Espa.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
No.
I'm gonna open up a little box. Not a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. Not a big fan.
Never mind. Never
Not a big
got
fan.
into it.
Too much.
I got into it when I was younger.
Understand why people don't like it.
It was too much for about 5 episodes until they actually got to the fight. Didn't like it.
Okay,
Damn.
but listen, I'll go on the same hot take. Vegeta is a better character than Goku.
I mean, yeah, because he actually has some character growth and Goku doesn't. Anyway,
Because all his character growth came in the original series, pretty much.
true.
He almost had a Taisama problem from One Punch Man, where he was just too powerful at the later episodes.
I also don't like One Punch Man for that same very reason. He's too powerful. I already know the outcome. I know the outcome. He wins. Woo.
But I think with that that pretty much was intentional.
I know that was the
Yeah.
point, but that's why I don't like it though.
Okay, but counterpoint.
But
You
D&D.
don't. Yeah, you don't watch One Punch Man for Saitama. You watch One Punch Man for everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Fair enough. All right, so new game, awesome, yay! All right, let me pull this up. I'm looking at everything else except for what I need to be looking at.
Oh, nice.
All right, you all have arrived to a small, relatively small village. The village of Northrich, on the continent of Wind. Of Luft. No, I didn't have to just look at my own notes to remember what the name of my own continent was.
Definitely never been here.
I want you to know. I've been preparing a lot of air puns, but they might not blow over well.
Oh no, she died. Oh well.
First I was in earth, then I was in fire. Now I'm in wind.
Anyway, all of you know why you were here for the most part. The town just outside of the mists of Anhu has been subject to the random killings of its villagers. That when the bodies are discovered, are twisted and corrupt in foul ways. Each of you having your own reasons, heard of the plight of this village, and took it upon yourselves to make your way here, to discover the causes of deaths and any correlations they may have to yourselves. And that is where we begin, with you arriving in Northrich. So we'll just go down the line. If anyone has any volunteers. Any volunteers?
I guess I'll go first.
Wow, a volunteer.
Woohoo! Hello, everyone. Most likely arriving at from a carriage, because she's that, emerging from this carriage, is a tall, white-furred bugbear. She has these bright red crimson eyes with no discernible pupils in it. She is covered in this leather outfit that has these kind of what are they called again? Like this tinted just fabric that's see-through, just draped all around it, very fey-like, with a veil on her head. Very noticeably, she also has two large, what look to be wing stumps on her back. And she's also holding a cane. She waves off the carriage and steps forward. Her name is Thif the Bloody, and she is here to look into these killings. That's it.
Okay. I forgot to mention, if there's anything you'd like to introduce about yourself, you may do so as well.
My name is Tegan. Hello. You can find me on Bullwoman on Twitter. I would say Twitch, but sadly I cannot do Twitch anymore until I get a new computer. So find me on Twitter. Woo!
No.
Ooh.
No.
Oh well.
Grave times we live in.
Yep.
On the days of our lives. Hated that show. My grandparents loved that show. I hated it. Anyway. As you step off of the carriage, making your way into the small town of Northridge, the weather is temperate. The sun, a gleaming beacon in the sky. People going about their daily lives. Very few. Shopkeepers tending to their wares. People, farmers, going about their daily lives, gathering goods for the day's work. Selling their goods to the shopkeepers in town. A few townsfolk going about their day, window shopping, actually shopping. A large church stands across from you. Very modest, nothing elegant by any means, much like the rest of the town.
Do I know what the church is? Of who's the god?
Roll me a religion check.
Okay. Religion. 6. Damn.
Let's see. I'm trying to make sure this is actually right. Your stats didn't change when you leveled up at all, did it?
No.
Well, at level
rolled
5,
a
it
3.
wouldn't be a difference. Well, that's
Yeah.
true. But yeah, that is true.
I rolled a 3 and I have a 3 to.
If anything, it would be less. So.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's a question. Would
Yes.
I get advantage because of my background?
Remind me what your background is.
Because I am a Viscountess of...
Oh, that.
Yes.
No, sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, merciful DM.
It's not like you're a cleric or anything.
Oh, yeah. Not like I'm a cleric. All right, that's even better. I'll take it. Thank you.
All right, 19. With 19, as you glimpse at this church, this modest church, which for the most part doesn't have a lot of symbolizing outward appearance to it, but Despite that, you are able to notice a what's the word? A symbol. That's not the word. That's what I'm going to use. A symbol just above the door. That is what looks to be a gust of wind, an arrow-like symbol. You know that this is a portion of the religious iconography of Fitiath, the elemental god of, well, the elements. Wind, earth, air, fire.
Fitieth? How do you spell that?
Excellent question.
Huh?
Let me look.
Oh. Because I was about to say, I'm quickly looking through like the divinity list that I have. I don't see it unless I'm dumb. Oh, there it is. I found it.
Yay, she found it.
Yay, I found it. Awesome. Okay. It makes sense.
I actually pulled that up really fast. I'm actually surprised at how fast my computer opened that up. I'm a little amazed. It's not because I'm not using Wi-Fi anymore. I have an Ethernet cable now. Anyway. But yes, that is who this church seems to be dedicated to. However, actually, no. No, you don't really notice. Actually, what is your perception? What is your passive perception?
My passive perception, I believe, is 15.
15?
It is. Oh.
Oh? Oop.
Yes, it is.
Okay, you don't really notice anything else.
Okay. Can I go into the church? Because most likely that's where they would be keeping like the bodies, or at least that's the place I would assume to go. Sure. If we'll head that way. I'm not wasting any time. Yes. No, it doesn't.
I can go next.
Okay.
Alright. Got to get into the mood now.
Oh,
No.
God.
No, I was covering my face for a second as I got into character. Whoa.
Well, next Batman.
Jesus. So.
Okay. I love the actor who played him. I also hated that bit. It was not Tom Hardy. The guy who played Eddie in the new Venom movie. Yes. Love the actor. Not that version of the character. Where is my Latino wrestler genius?
I'm full of venom.
Full of venom. Yes.
Oh, I absolutely am. Anyways.
Yes.
Yep. So, slithering into Northwich at the back of a caravan that he had chosen to guard in to return for passage to Northwich is a rather substantially sized Naga. From the tip of his nose to the end of his tail is roughly about 18 feet, though about 6 to 8 of it, depending on his mood, is kept into an upright position while the rest coils around him to create a more stable standing platform. Rather intimidating in stature, he does in fact have a somewhat charming demeanor to him as he smiles at everyone he passes and greets them with a polite word or a nod. Emerald green scales cover his body for the most part with a kind of duller, more tannish green mixture covering his underside there. Clad, bleh, two different words there. Clothed in more finer clothing, but it does seem to have some wear and tear to it from several years of usage now. He is Linju Longtail. Strapped to his back is a massive halberd, which seems to be his preferred weapon of choice, as well as two hand axes at his belt. But other than that, he doesn't wear much in the way of armor, but he's definitely not the kind of person that the average individual would want to pick a fight with. Not that he is much in the preference of fighting as much as he is in the preference of other things, which is shown very, very viscerally through the sideways looks he gives a lot of the individuals in town. However, right now he's on a mission and he has to stay the course for the moment. So he's going to look around and see if he can spot anyone that looks like they're in the garb of a town's guard of any kind. Yes. He's got a very lackadaisical, not paying attention sort of air. Fair enough. Not performance. Oh no, I have proficiency in perception, so I have a flat roll.
Mm.
Oh, so my pest. 8. What about?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Fair.
Can't be that low.
Yeah, I misunderstood. I accidentally put it as a 6 instead of an 8. So I actually have I'm more perceptive than I thought I was.
Woohoo!
I was muted. Thank you, Noah. Thank you. We weren't really saying much other than just fucking around. But yes, thank you. All right. As you look around for any sort of guardman, you notice that the town has a severe lack of guards. There isn't really any actually trained individuals who seem to be guarding the town. You do see that many of the townsfolk themselves are actually armed, although minorly. Usually with just either a small crossbow, or a knife, or a dagger, or a small sword, or even a club or two. But as to defend themselves in case anything were to happen. But there doesn't seem to be any active guardship. You do see the occasional, basically just one or two individuals who look more trained than the rest of the town, but they wear no kind of uniform to denote that they belong to any trained grouping.
Linju will kind of stroke his chin for a second and just go, well, that is troubling indeed. And I'm going to slither over to one of the shopkeepers that are currently open and try and get their attention.
Alright. You you make your way over to one of the many shopkeepers who is open to this one little stall that has a variety of different fruits and vegetables. They appear to be a farmer with their small immediate family in the area who are selling their wares. You also notice that as you have kind of made your way into the town, that you get far more looks than the average individual.
I would imagine. Linju just kind of basks in the attention and kind of like lifts himself up a little bit. Slithers over and greets the shopkeeper. Hail, friend. A moment of your time, if I may.
The farmer behind the stall looks up at you, kind of gives a small nod. How can I help you today?
Well, you see, I've mostly recently arrived following a job listing at the Adventurers Guild saying that your town needed some help. I was wondering if you might point me in the direction of who I would inquire for more details from.
Well, our town has come under a little bit of lackluster havings as of late. Well, we have the sheriff just a little bit down the ways. He doesn't really do much of nothing, but if you could always talk to him about anything you may be looking for. He usually has some kind of know what's about what's going on.
Glorious. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to head and flip him a gold coin as I start looking for the sheriff.
You flip him a coin and it kind of just smacks him in the forehead and then falls to a table and he slowly reaches down and picks it up. Thank you.
You are most welcome, and these are glorious product. Thank you so much for your time and effort in farming. Thank you so much. Now, if you'll excuse me. And I'll slither away to find the sheriff, whichever way you pointed me out to him.
It's 2 doors down.
On the left or right?
Right. I always have to think about that question for a minute. I don't know why.
So, this one.
Yes.
Okay.
As you slither away, actual feet hit the ground.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. Douche.
All right, running in. Yes, literally, he travels on foot. Or they travel on foot. And running in is this, like, what size S? And I shouldn't take it off. Oh. There's this, like, medium-sized, blue blur runs into the town before stopping at the edge. He has bright blue feathers with scrawny bluish black feet. But he's all dressed up in a very navy blue outfit that covers his entire body, with the exception of his eye, pretty much around his beak. This here is Swift Indigo, a ninja of the Lightning Shadow Clan. He is equipped with two swords, two short swords, and two daggers. He has a pack on his back carrying all of his tools of his trade. And he is here to investigate to see if the murders were committed by rogue members of his clan. And he is sent upon to investigate and to find out if it is to find and eliminate them. So he, after his trek across the land from the ninja from the clan, he finally arrives in town and he stops and takes a look around.
Alright. You arrive in the small town of Northridge and begin surveying the sights. The town's small, nothing massive, but there are many shops, many quotations, villagers going about their day, selling their goods to really each other, loading up carts full of goods from the nearby farms to sell to the merchants here, as well as to gather up goods here and take off to nearby larger settlements for trade.
Alright. He is going to make his way into town. And he's going to stop by one of probably a weapon shop to get intel, but also pick up something. If
Okay.
it's possible.
Let's see here. Oh. Alright, I should make sure I'm looking at the right one. Alright. Okay. Alright. Well, as you look around for a shop that looks like a weapons area, you do manage to find one. Farther into town, there is a shop that as you kind of peer through the windows has a selection of different weapons inside.
Okay. I will go on in. He's going to walk in and approach the counter.
All right. You make your way in, and behind the counter is this fairly scruffled-looking gnome individual.
Before this goes on, what is your rule on Kenku speaking?
Yes. Basically the traditional. They can't form their own they can form their own sentences, but it can only be from words that they have already heard previously.
Okay, making sure.
And whatever makes sense for your character to actually, have heard before. So basically, it would sound like basically a soundboard. Your soundboard.
He will say in a very woman-like voice, Sickles and darts, please.
The gnomish man kind of looks up at you. It appears to be relatively, middle-aged for a gnome. And he kind of wipes the soot away from his glasses. He kind of looks up at you. Hello! Sickles! I have sickles. I have sickles aplenty. How many do you need?
He will hold up a feather for one.
Alright then, one sickle. Not too sure how much farming you're going to be able to do with that, but alright. And he kind of points over to the area where those multiple sickles. Have your pick.
He looks and he picks out the sturdiest sickle of them all.
Alright, as you pick up the sickle and pick it up, the gnome kind of looks at you. Excellent selection.
Okay, I will take it over to the counter, and then I will again inquire darts.
Darts? Yes, we have a selection of darts. He kind of walks along a little bit behind the counter, and there's a glass shelf that he kind of, as you can look inside, you see various different little darts and arrows and things. And he kind of pulls out like a little tray and puts it on the countertop. Here we are, a fine selection of darts, various different quality. We have hollow wooden darts for any kind of need you may have for those. We have solid metal darts for usually throwing at a dartboard. People like these. Also have metal darts for throwing at things that aren't a dartboard. Don't sell too many of those.
And he will stop and say, in like a butch voice, goes, "Those." When he talks about the ones not throwing at a dodgeball, he goes, "Those."
Fine selection.
And he will say in like a child's voice, "10, please."
Alright, 10 dots. And kind of picks up 10, wraps them up in a little bundle. Anything else I can do for you?
And he will say in like an old lady's voice, "Oh, good."
Splendid. Let's see here, 10 dots, plus the sickle.
He'll pull out his coin purse. And he will say in adult male's voice, "How much?"
That would be 1 gold and 5 silver.
He will pull out 2 gold pieces and hand to the man.
Thank you. And he'll reach behind the counter and pull out 5 silver and hand it to you. There you are.
He'll take the 5 silver. And then he's going to say, who is in charge? Like, this time, it sounds more like a mixture of voices that he's siphoning through. kind of like how oh Jesus, what's his name?
Bumblebee.
Yeah, kind of like Bumblebee, but also kind of like a mixture of Stephen Hawking, like Stephen Hawking and Bumblebee,
Mm.
kind of like talking. It's like his voice changes with the with words, but it's like all put together in a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's not like somebody speed through it like a radio. Only they're like hitting every single word correctly or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pretty much saying where do I, who is in charge, and where do I find them?
Ah, well, in charge. Uh, well, I would say there isn't really anyone in charge per se. Uh, but I've always been quite fond of uh, our, our priest in the church there.
Uh, he will thank him, and he will be on his way to the church. So does I add these darts together?
All right. So you begin making your way to the church, uh, and as you begin making your way, Thiff, I learned English first. Thiff, you would have already have made your way to the church, and have made your way inside. As you make your way inside the church, um, it is currently empty. There are several pews uh, lined up. 3 rows of pews. Is that the right word? Pew? The benches?
Yep. Pews.
Uh, going up to this. I've blanked on the word.
Altar.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. Stage? Is that the right word? Stage?
Podium.
There's a podium on it, but there's a stage and then the podium.
Yeah, we'll just say stage.
Yeah. It might be stage. Pretty sure I don't know. It's probably not stage, but we'll call it a stage. It's an elevation that's on the floor.
Yeah.
Stage. English, man. I hate it. Too many words.
Technically, that would also be considered the altar.
Oh, the whole thing is the altar? I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been to church in forever.
Go with stage.
I haven't been to church in forever.
Yeah, neither have I.
That's actually a lie. I've been to church like last year, but still. Yeah, so there's an altar just on the opposite side of all of these pews. There's a pedestal that stands on it, and on the pedestal is this fairly large black stone that looks like it's cracked, not broken, but just cracked in several places, all centralizing in the center. And it is about a good 2 feet in diameter, and it is just sitting on the pedestal. There's no one inside currently. The entire church is empty, except for this black orb. It's an orb. It's a stone, but it's an orb sitting on the pedestal.
Thiff is going to call out, "Excuse me. Is anyone here?"
You call out, and you hear some shuffling from a back room, and eventually an individual kind of steps out, fully covered, hood up, kind of drawn over the face, almost shuffling in a slow motion, arms together, and they have this mask over their face that you could have seen just from this little bit if the mask were not covering it. And the mask appears to be kind of like this face. If you had made a face made out of wind, there's many like swirling bits to it, kind of all going around to form the facial features. If someone's face was made out of wind or air, and they just kind of slowly shuffle out of this back room and that forward. How can I help you?
My name is Thif the Bloody. I am a viscountess in Echo. I have heard that your village has been having some problems with a few murders. In fact, these problems has extended to the noble hierarchy in Echo. I am here to assist.
They kind of slowly shuffle forward a little bit more. As you were speaking, they were making their way to you very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, we've had severe troubles here the past few days.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Priest Hanno.
Priest what? Pardon, Shepherd?
Handu.
Handu. Okay, thank you. Can you give me any details, anything about what's been going on? I can maybe start off on an investigation of this.
Oh yes. Several days ago, perhaps a week, on the outskirts of our town, various farmers and villagers have been subjects to heinous acts of crime, murder. We do not know who or what. We see evidence of a skirmish, heavy footsteps, so we assume it is of humanoid origins, but we are unable to track the killer down. When we find the bodies, they are twisted, corrupted, no longer their usual selves. Shadowy figures of their former lives. Inky blackness, tentacle-like appendages where arms once were. Eyes, white, fuzzy.
Shepherd, would any of that ring a bell with me? With any kind of like, I don't know, monster or god or something like that? Maybe a god specifically?
Um, yeah, roll me a religion check.
Okay, one moment.
I was trying to think of you if you would actually know this, but because of where you actually came from in the beginning, you may have actually had some kind of teachings.
religion, you said?
Yeah. Oh, also, is your religion check using your wisdom modifier? Because it should be for us. Because I changed it for cleric. Because it made sense.
I don't know.
If it's using the base button, like if you, I can just look and see.
Let me just.
Yeah, you don't have them separated out, so it's using your
I did
intelligence.
acrobatics. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. Religion, you said, right?
Actually, what is your wisdom modifier?
My wisdom modifier is 20.
So it's +5. So yeah, it's not. It's using your intelligence. So
Okay.
that 16 would have been more.
Okay. Well, let me roll actual. Okay, so that's the 6. Goddamn.
No! Hey, look, just like last time.
Just like last time.
So +2 because that's a +3, so an extra +2 would make that an 8. Yeah. This would have been a little bit more uncommon knowledge, so you probably don't have advantage on this one.
Alrighty, that's fine.
But with an 8, it does sound vaguely similar to some gods, perhaps. You're not. From the description, it's very difficult to say if this was in fact from any divine source that you're fully aware of, or if it's from some sort of monster or affliction. Could be several things, many things, really.
And where were all these happening? These were all happening in the farms?
Some on farm, some on the outskirts of town. Never fully in the village. Many of them on the eastern side. Towards the mists of Anhu.
That will help.
How?
Well, it gives us a lead of somewhat. Where was the last attack?
The last attack was just outside the mists of Anhu. On a small road which leads to an old outpost that is no longer in use for several decades now.
Do you have anyone in town looking into this matter already?
Sheriff has done a minor investigation into the occurrences, but has not been able to find any useful details. He has actually set up a bounty to find who or what caused these occurrences.
Did he say the sheriff or the mayor?
Sheriff.
Okay. Do you have any of the bodies with you?
All of the bodies have been long buried by now.
Damn it. I would have done an autopsy on them. Or at least as much as I could do. And you said they were mutated?
Yes. corrupted. My fault.
All right. Well, I guess then my next step would be to find the sheriff. Thank you very much. This information was very useful. I think I have a very good lead.
You will nod. I do hope you find the one responsible for damaging our dear commune.
As do I. Thank you very much, Priest Tendu. I will be on my way. And Thif will begin to leave the church.
All right. As you begin to leave the church, you see a feathered individual walking up the steps to the church.
Oh, my apologies. Service? And she kind of gestures over to the church, seeing if there's maybe like a service going on to. Elsie?
Yeah.
Hi. She was gesturing towards the church and asking if you're joining a service, essentially a prayer.
Okay. He, in his usual soundboardy like speak, he replies that no, I'm here to investigate the murders.
Oh, perfect. From the sounds of it, I might need some help on this. What is your name, friend?
He says in an old man's voice, Swift Indigo.
She kind of like widens her eyes at you, almost like wanting to hear, like, just kidding for a moment. And then she's like, oh, okay. I am Squirrel Fifth the Bloody, or Viscountess Fifth the Bloody of Echo. Sorry, my phone went off.
And he repeats in her voice, Fifth the Bloody Countess.
Well, I am assuming that you just got here, so I'm on my way to see the sheriff. I've already talked with the priest. Walk and talk with me, and I will essentially give Swift the lowdown on what I asked Priest Tandu. That at the most a week ago, farmers and people outside of the village have been getting killed. The bodies have been mangled and mutated into black tentacly things. And this has all been happening near the east, near the mist. The last attack was near the mist at an abandoned outpost. Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so.
Poggers.
Alright, he will listen in. And then he will reply that, sounds like some of the some of the, I did hope that it is not, but my clan has sent me to investigate the murders, because they believe that it could possibly be a rogue group of our clan, and I have been sent to find out if this is true, to eliminate them.
I see. Who is your clan?
She kind of looks at her and then kind of squints his eyes, like, should I tell this? And he just like he unwinds his unsquints his eyes and goes, We are the lightning shadows. We live in the far mountains in the land.
Well, it'll be good to know, and I will ensure that if any traces of your clan are there, that they do not get involved. You see, these individuals killed the brother to Duke Halgun over in Echo. And that's a pretty big thing. So, let's make haste. I don't want to keep him waiting.
Okay. He nods his head. He looks around as he's following behind, making sure that if there's anybody watching them. Like, he's trying to take in the sight of the town, but he's also trying to see if there's anybody like really watching them, seeing what they're doing. Ever since he got into town.
Spy versus spy.
Oh yeah. Make a perception check.
Let's do some perceptioning. Damn it.
As you look around to make sure that you are not being followed, it does not appear that anyone has been following you. You do get some looks, but not many. Mostly just from the villagers around. Many of whom are appear to be of Aragonasi descent or Arakakra descent. Several humans. The one gnome you found. But the only looks you get appear to be the looks of, there's a new person in town. What are they doing here?
Okay.
You tend to get used to the looks.
Usually, most people don't get to see me. I'm usually how shall I say, inconspicuous with most of my missions.
Pity.
Though it is nice to be looked at sometimes. Most people never see a giant to put into the words of a human I once crossed, a giant ass bird.
Ugh, humans are so pretentious. Well,
Some of them. My mentor, our grandmaster, is a very unique individual, I shall say, as opposed to most humans.
most of the humans I've noticed or met are either don't really care about what they do or what they look like, or care too
I've been
much.
cheesed! Salmon, thank you for the
Can't say
cheese.
that I blame them.
It's delicious.
Tend to care too much as well. But
I feel like there's a lot of meta commentary going on right now.
there is.
What? No, never meta commentary.
Yeah. No, I guess we make our way over to the sheriff's department.
He does make a comment about the bugbear's appearance. I've never seen one of a white fur.
Oh, that, yes. apparently you tend to change colors a bit more when one of your parents turns out to be a deity.
I didn't mention this because we have bugbears in our clan.
Hmm.
Very sneaky lot.
Yeah, most of them are. This just sort of blanks out to her own kind of dexterity and sneaking and not at all, just constantly tripping.
Good
Yeah,
times. Good times.
many bugbears are very good at that. However, I am specifically an ASMR, so it didn't really get that trait.
He nods and follows along. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Jack, can y'all heal Douche good? The Kenku. Can y'all heal him good? Is he too quiet? Do I need to tone down the music or anything? I can't tone him up anymore. Alright, so you two make your way down to the sheriff's office. Meanwhile,
Da-da-da-da.
oh my god, my voice. It died.
Meanwhile, the boy.
The boy.
It-
Oh
It's the
God.
boy. There you go.
Here we go.
Awesome. Thank you. Alright. Here we are. As you make your way into the sheriff's office, the slash prison, you see a fairly haggard-looking Aarakocra sitting behind a desk directly across from you, feet up on the table, with a straw hat kind of folded down on top of their eyes. And next to you, you see an equally haggard-looking El Ganassi doing basically the same thing that Aarakocra is doing.
Well, I've seen eyes like that before, though usually it's after a much better night. Well, so they're closer. Do either of them look like they're like fully asleep, or they're just kind of like chilling for the moment?
They look like they're... Well, make a perception check.
Fair enough.
Kill check.
Yep.
Out cold, absolutely.
Lindsay will kind of slither his way closer and kind of like politely clear his throat to see if he can get the attention.
Clear your throat. No response.
Lindsay will kind of like take a moment, take a breath, and then kind of in a slightly elevated voice go, "Is this the sheriff's office by chance?"
Can't you tell I'm trying to sleep?
Perhaps. At the same time, it also is fairly early, don't you think?
I don't see no sun.
Quite right. Well, I'll cut to the chase so you can get back to your nap. I noticed a job listing doing some exercises with the Adventurers Guild saying that you might need some assistance in solving some murder cases.
He kind of just. He doesn't have any shoes on. They're basically just two taloned feet up on the table, and one of them just kind of shuffles over to the side on top of a paper that has that's basically a list of what you were already pre-informed about. That's what the paper says. Hello, Nixon.
Indeed,
Welcome.
but
Hello.
as you'd well understand, an investigation of this caliber requires a little more details from somebody who's a little more hands-on with the situation.
Do you need a headpad? I could use a headpad. Yes. What all you want to know?
It's a few simple things to get started, really. For the most part, where was the most recent attack, and what can you tell me about the aftermath of the scene?
Don't have enough points. Oh no! Kind of shifts over just a little bit. Picks up a pencil that's on the table with his foot and just tries to fling it at the other person at the other table, but it only makes it halfway and just kind of on the floor. Tell him what happened. I'm going to sleep.
Lindsay will kind of raise an eyebrow and then move over to what he assumes is the deputy.
The other individual kind of just lets out this exasperated groan and slowly shifts. He died about a day ago. Found them all kinds of messed up. Had all icky kind of black tentacles all on them.
Tentacles. Well, doesn't necessarily fit with the previous modum operandum, but who knows what they're changing. Where exactly did this attack take place?
Happened out east, near the mist.
Mist. When you say mists, are these a naturally occurring thing, or is it just recently?
I ain't been there as long as I can remember.
Oh, natural mist, however, could use some cover. Just kind of stroking his chin as he's kind of mulling over things to himself. Very well. And what about the state of the scene itself, aside from the bodies? Did it seem like there had been a struggle of any kind?
It was fucked up. Big boots, all on the floor. Big old boot prints. Looked like the guy's head been smashed in with something heavy.
If you had to compare the size of the boots to my hand, and Lynch will like hold out one massive hand and just be like, how big are we talking?
He lifts up his hat just slightly, and you kind of see these two like very tired looking eyes. These two blue eyes with these blue bags, because air canals, he's blue. Go figure. Yeah, I'd say he wore about a size 15.
Lynch will kind of look at his hand, and you can just see the gears turning in his head. Right. Anyway, well, coffee. I highly recommend coffee in the morning and a little bit of warm milk at night, and should help with the sleep deprivation.
Cocaine can also help with that.
He reaches over and takes a hit of his cocaine. No.
Oh no! Ergonostic cocaine, is that carbon dioxide?
It's carbon monoxide.
Fair enough.
It's actually just pure hydrogen.
No mixture of helium in there?
Nope, pure hydrogen.
Fair enough.
Helium is weed, dude. To an air genasi. It literally takes you high on a whole nother level.
Did I say helium or did I say hydrogen? I don't remember. Fucking remember what I said.
You said hydrogen.
Hydrogen. Linju's gonna realize, even with his 6 intelligence, that he's not gonna get any more information here. So he's going to start slithering his way out. Kind of slither out onto the porch and watch the door swing shut and then just kind of shake his head, just like, rather disorganized around here. He'll slither about here. And just kind of be thinking. Deep thinking.
Are you coming out of the sheriff's office?
There's a brief pause as it seems like he's lost in thought, and then he slowly opens his eyes. Oh! Oh my! Well, you're certainly not from around here, are you?
Is it that obvious? Of course not.
Well, one can be forgiven for mistaking anything these days, but you are cut from a different cloth, aren't you? Oh, and who's your little blue friend there?
Swift, who are you?
Linju Longtail, at your service. I came to this village in order to try and help with the problem of, how shall we say, immediate and unnecessary death.
Before anything, Shepard,
Yes.
would I know anything about the Longtail?
Fresh my memory. Where the long tail's from? Him, not right?
No, Longtail family is based out of Zem. They're
Zem.
gem traders.
Make me a history check.
Alright.
If it was him, no, it would have been a yes.
15.
15? Yeah. The name sounds vaguely familiar.
I see, yes, Okay, Linju. This is Swift Indigo. He's helping. Oh, where are my manners? My goodness. Scroll Fifth the Bloody, or if you like, Viscountess Fifth the Bloody. I am here on a mission from Echo. Looks like we are on the similar path.
Linju will kind of slither down and kind of look between the two of them and just go, absolutely charmed. It is a pleasure.
Yes. Were you just coming out of the sheriff's office?
Indeed. If you're here to speak to the sheriff, it may not be the greatest of endeavors. Both the sheriff and his deputy appear to be rather overworked, as it were.
Can imagine with all these murders happening. Right, well.
There's been a moida.
If you don't mind, do you have any information for us? I assume that we start exchanging information.
Yeah, Linju is very open about it. He will kind of look at Thiff and kind of have like this apologetic look. It's not much to go on, unfortunately. It seems to be fairly general knowledge. Apparently, the last attack happened out east toward the edge of the mist, and to quote the deputy, it was fucked up.
Ah. Um. w- Well, we just came back from the church. The priest gave us a bit more information. The last attack was happened near the mist, near an abandoned outpost.
Ah, and already we are leaps and bounds above what I have received. You are as intelligent as you are beautiful, aren't you?
Thank you. Uh, anyway, and she kind of like steps back. Um, so that's all we have on that. They also said something about shoes. Like they saw some very big boot prints.
Oh yes, the deputy said something about a size 15. I'm. He looks at his hand again. I'm not sure what the comparison was.
Comparison?
Well, like I
Swift
asked him.
interjects. Swift interjects. It goes. So if there's footprints, that means there's tracks, and those tracks, then maybe a way to follow them.
Correct. That's what I'm hoping.
I suggest we walk and talk all the way there.
Yes, good idea.
If I see Mr. Indigo is a man of action, I do enjoy that.
Indigo, would any of your people be wearing boots?
He takes a moment and thinks. If anything, if they wore boots, it would be very light. It wouldn't be very heavy boots, although we did have some big guys. Well, I wouldn't know because he points at his feet.
Ah, yes. Well,
don't have to deal with that equipment problem.
Neither do I. Oh,
Verily.
Oh wow, hope I don't give y'all any boots of swiftness or flying.
Well, I guess no, Kenku can't wear shoes, could they?
You technically can, because
There's no rule saying you can't.
yeah, with the general idea of like magic items in that regard, like when you attune to them, it alters their nature to fit you.
Well, then I might wear shoes. It depends.
Although I do think it's funny and just hilarious to see a Kenku just wearing regular shoes.
Why do I just have the image of like the cat thing when you put boots on a cat?
Or any animal. Just
Yeah.
kicking the legs.
And they start walking funny.
Anyway.
So yeah, I guess we'll start heading. We'll start walking and talking and head to this abandoned outpost.
Alright. You head east. Out and away from the village, the town, following a road that heads east, directly towards the mists of Anhu, where this outpost was said to be, and the latest attack had been done.
So meandering, Linju's gonna kind of pipe up. So, what exactly is your interest in this investigation, if you don't mind me asking? Says, looking between both Thiff and Swift.
My clan, well, in his soundboardy like tongue, my clan has sent me to investigate the murders as being possibly committed by a rogue group of our clan. And if it is to be true, I am to find them and eliminate them.
straightforward. Understandable. And you, my dear?
Gives you a side look. A few days ago, Duke Talgan, his brother was murdered by these people. And as a favor, he asked for me to go and investigate. As though he ended up just getting the information around 12 hours after his death, he didn't think that they were moving fast enough. So, of course, he sent me.
Oh, so you must be fairly, well, sought after.
For jobs like this, I believe I'm the only one in a self-petal of Reflection, the capital of Echo. Pretty sure I'm one of the only people who would go out to do things like this. Everyone else is fine sipping on their tea and sitting down.
There's a definite bit of vitriol there.
Oh. Many nobles aren't that noble. Would you happen to know?
More than I care to admit. But then again, I do find myself in good company most days.
Good company?
Oh yes, the best of companies.
Right. And she's gonna start like speeding up a little bit and just kind of hang with Swift. Swift doesn't talk.
Oh, does he?
Oh, does he? Swift, do you talk?
He talks, though he does wish, like among like most Kenku do. Well, actually more than most Kenku do, because most, from what out of character, from us, the way that Kenkus are played is like, oh, they want their ability to fly. It's like, yeah, he would like the ability to fly, but he more in turn wants like the ability to be able to have his own voice to speak. Instead of always speaking like in other people's voices. Not that he doesn't mind speaking in other people's voices, but he kind of would like to have his own voice.
Yeah.
Want to
Your
sing
own vocal cords.
about the moon and the tuna and the spring?
He kind of turns and looks at Thrift. Is like, thinking the kind of company he's talking about is the one you find in a brothel.
I see. Okay. And Thif just starts walking even faster. Just to get away
Boobies!
from both of you.
How loudly did he say that?
Not very loudly, but he does give off a chuckle.
Alright.
He does like to mess with people a little bit. But he honestly thinks that that's possibly what he's talking about. Just by the way he said it.
Linju's probably too far away to hear him, so he's not able to respond to it.
I know, would you like to perceive?
I think he's a little bit too busy watching other things right now.
What is he watching? Wait, I want to do a perception check. What is Linju doing?
What is he doing? What is he
What is
doing?
he doing?
He's watching you walk faster.
15. What the hell is he doing?
Are you being sneaky about it?
Attempting to, yeah.
Alright, well, stealth. No, you're not.
He's admiring certain assets.
Of who?
Both.
That rock.
That rock.
I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder.
That's a nice boulder. What are you staring at?
just the bounty of the world that's been offered to me. And he gives a wink.
Excuse me?
You're excused. I'm not sure for what for.
Well, no. Just no. Okay. I don't know much about you, Mr. Linju, but
Oh, I'd be happy to tell you more.
Well, I don't think I want to know more. I don't know if you know this, but I am a woman of status and culture.
Oh,
Not one to be.
very clearly.
I'm not to be gawked at. Thank you.
Gawked? Of course not. Worshipped, more likely.
Okay, we're heading over to this thing, and we are not speaking. Very red-faced, Sith just starts marching off, and after a few moments, she trips. I'm fine. Stands up, keeps walking.
Swift
Linju
just backs at Linju and just goes, real smooth.
Not my best work. I've been smoother.
Clearly.
All right.
He just kind of shakes his head and walks off.
Yeah, that's usually everyone's first reaction.
And as you continue tripling along the way, let's see here. Swift, is your passive perception correct?
My passive perception.
Yeah.
It is.
Is it 11 or should it be higher?
Should be 13 because he's got a +3 on perception checks.
Oh yeah. I altered my thing. I forgot to alter. Oops, my bad. I will fix that. I did not fix that earlier.
11 just looked a little low for a rogue.
I think I had it at 11 earlier because it was on wisdom. I forgot that I switched up because I did change my things
Doesn't really change it much. I just wanted to make sure. But Thief, you do notice it first. As you're traveling, you notice that there is a massive streak along the ground, about 20 foot wide, that goes on for maybe a mile, cutting through various farmland that you are currently walking through.
A stream?
A streak.
A streak.
Yes, a 20-foot long streak, and I'm saying this as a streak because you're pretty far off in the distance. That kind of cuts through this farmland, plowing up the ground around it. The several trees that were there have been knocked down, and it goes all the way to what looks like a small farmstead off in the distance. As if something has plowed up this ground in a 20-foot wide diameter all the way from the middle of this field for about a mile up to this homestead. Or this series of buildings. And you notice that quite a bit off in the distance. Not immediately next to you, but just a little bit away. And you noticed it first, and then as you get closer, then Swift would notice. Linju, you probably noticed as well, even with a 10, you noticed that some trees have been knocked down, but nothing. It's kind of hard to miss a 20-foot wide gape in the ground that goes for a mile.
Jesus.
You would be surprised how easily you could be distracted.
Never mind, you have disadvantage because the stiff. This gives you a 5 passive. You miss it completely.
I am okay with this.
What were you saying? Do you say?
I said, you're distracted by the thickness of the bugbear in front?
True.
The thickness of the bugbear in front, the dexterity of the little Kenku in between.
Oh, God.
No mind.
Well, it would seem that the plot is pointing us to a new direction.
The plot never points you anywhere.
The plot points us to many things.
He will approach the streak in the ground, and he will investigate.
Okay. So you're still on the road, and the start of like the streak is about, we'll say about like 100, 200, let's say 100 feet away from the road. So to actually go off and try and investigate it, do you go that 400 feet off into this farmland?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you trudge through this these fields, which look like they have already been harvested. So there's really nothing there, but you can tell that it's fields. And you approach this massive streak, and as you get closer to it, it does look like the ground has been basically dug up and moved through this entire path. As you get closer, roll me investigation. Anyone who's looking at it.
Investigation.
Investigation.
Starting off with low rolls.
The duality of not having advantage.
13.
Linju's probably just now realizing that there's a freaking trench in the ground.
You're next to it now, so are you also going to investigate it?
Yeah, bro, it'd probably be just like, oh, good heavens, what is this?
Oh, look, a hole in the ground!
How did you miss it?
I was engroused.
He still is.
He's too busy staring at my ass.
Sif rolls her eyes.
Among other assets, I gotta imagine that you're fairly good with swords.
Alright,
Other things.
Alright, with a 13, as you all kind of investigate this trench, basically, you do notice that the ground where this is darkened and blackened. As you kind of reach down and kind of touch it, your finger was left with soot. Soot. I like that word. Soot. Left on your fingertips, as the ground around in this area is blackened. The plants around it have wilted ever so slightly.
Does it look like it was heading towards the farm or away from it?
Towards it, yes. It has started. The streak goes from where you are all the way about a mile to this homestead, this grouping of several buildings, which you can kind of see now, because if I'm not mistaken, you can see for a mile pretty easily. Probably wrong about that. But you notice now that you're closer, you can kind of see next to this homestead that there is this massive boulder basically at the front of this building.
It's oh, what? Oh, I don't think boulders are supposed to move.
You'd be surprised.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you even? Oh God, the boulder in the village over there, the homes. Okay, let's just go. Thiff is gonna start heading towards the boulder and all the houses.
Okay.
Hey, something had to be very big and strong to pull that boulder.
All right.
Linja's gonna flick his tongue out a couple times and decide it's business time and pull out his halberd as they're moving closer.
Swift will also move closer to the boulder.
Just do it like this. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
We're about to fight. We're about to fight a boulder.
Just halberd.
No one ever suspects the boulder.
The boulder is conflicted about fighting a little
The boulder has conflicted feelings about fighting a little girl.
Sounds like a scared boulder.
The boulder no longer has conflicted feelings. I actually don't know the full line, but that's about what I imagined it was.
It's close enough.
Oh no, I killed Tiff.
What?
I killed Bull Woman.
Oh no, please don't.
That was too funny.
Swift does make a comment, say it better not be a goddamn mimic.
One of these days.
Oh well, business before pleasure, I suppose.
A rogue. One of his worst enemies is frickin' mimics.
I unlocked the chest. Do you?
Do you actually?
I'll stab the chest first. I try to.
Funny. Funny man, the chest unlocks you.
Every D&D adventure in a nutshell is just there's a chest at the end of a long corridor. I stab the chest
With my keys.
Actually, I have done that before in one of my other campaigns.
That's awesome. I like mimics.
The mimic did not like it, but I killed it anyways, and I took a long sword from it.
Mm.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, let
I
me know
didn't
when you
notice-
load them.
I can't believe I didn't notice this before.
Can't believe I didn't notice this long hole. Oh yeah, it's raining by the way. I forgot to mention that. It's raining.
He has his hood up then.
Very cautiously, Thiff is gonna start walking towards the boulder, just keeping an eye out for any hooligans.
And this is the boulder right here.
Yes.
Isn't-
Linji will kind of dart forward.
Summit.
just kinda look
Oh,
over
thank
at
you for
Thiff
the
and
hip
say,
pats.
Maybe this is where I should take the lead.
If you want. Sort of gives you a look, just like, okay.
Try not to admire me too much.
No, I won't.
Winks and slithers away.
I think this is the time. I think this is the time that Swift would go for stealth.
Woohoo!
All right. Yeah.
14.
All right. Where would you be hiding at? All places to hide.
A lot of places to hide. A lot of places to hide.
Got down
he's going to
trees.
step along and probably hide or stealth around this tree over here.
Awesome. I don't think being in the dark gives you advantage. Because it's
Can I make
raining. It's dark. Go for it. Go. Yeah.
perception?
Uh,
Perception.
yes. What are you looking for?
Yay. People.
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 All right.
Or movement.
A movement. You see movement. There's sheep.
Other than the sheep.
There's chickens.
Oh, chickens. Perfect.
But as you look around for people for movement, you do see movement. You see the livestock that's currently grazing, but the rain isn't anything heavy. It's kind of like just a slight drizzle.
Yeah.
Ow, my neck. So yeah, so you see the livestock. They're currently just feeding, as if everything's normal. Are you two making like any loud noises or anything? I know one of you is.
No, just
The
Almost-
serpent. Always the serpent.
I'm just kind of moving forward, just kind of like waiting for something to pop out and try to attack me. I'm just currently like, as I get closer to the boulder, Linju's going to kind of flex his lower jaw and open his heat pits. His tongue starts snaking out as I'm gonna start trying to like see things with my blind sense as I get closer.
Okay. Make me a perception check. 17. Blind sense. Blind sense basically just means you can see things when you're blind. So,
Yeah.
let's see.
I use other things besides my eyes
Yeah.
to be able to perceive things within a 10-foot radius.
Perfectly, in fact. Alright, yeah. So, as you kind of, look around. What were you looking for again? Sorry, I missed it.
Me personally, I'm looking to see if there's any indication of why this rock has moved, or if there's any like movement around it.
Okay. Yeah. So as you look around at the rock for anything that may have moved it, you don't see anything in the vicinity that would be powerful enough or constructed in a way that would allow this massive rock to move the way it has from point A to point B.
does it look like it fell out of the sky? Like it's an asteroid?
Investigation check.
I will lend the assist action with this.
It's a 19.
Roll again.
Oh, investigate.
Was that with advantage? Doesn't matter.
So it was a 19.
Okay. Alright, as you look at the area to see if perhaps this fell from the heavens, it does appear to be that. I honestly, I can't think of any way to tell you other than yes, because I don't know how to describe that to you. Other than yes.
Sort of looks like it was fired from an artillery piece.
But it does appear to be, from the way it has kind of ground up against the ground, and the fact that there was nothing of sufficient size or strength to have thrown it or dragged it here, that it does seem to have impacted where you first found the trench, and basically dragged itself here.
Fell from the sky.
Yeah.
No, it's
move over into this house over here.
can I do an investigation check on the rock itself? Like anything for like maybe holes or maybe perhaps just like any like indents that are marking?
Yeah, go for it.
18.
All right, with an 18, as you look over the rock itself, kind of looking over it, looking for any kind of holes, tapping it to see if it may be hollow. As you search, you do find this very, not quite small, but like this about 2 foot wide hole that goes from basically where Linju is standing and goes, no, not where Linju's standing, opposite where Linju is standing. Opposite end of him. Going deep into the rock. As you kind of tap it, the exterior bit does seem fairly solid.
Quick question.
Yes.
Does it look like the rock that I saw in the church?
You didn't really get a good look at the rock in the church because it was very far away from you.
Okay. But both of the rocks were about 2 feet. Or like the hole is 2 feet and the rock is 2 feet.
The hole is about 2 feet because you're right next to it. The rock at the church was roughly 2 feet from what you could tell.
Does it look like it was carved out?
As you look at it, the hole doesn't appear to be carved. It appears to be far too smooth for it to be carved out. The hole goes from the exterior deep into the rock, almost like a cylinder, a tube, deep inside. And it's far too dark to see. Actually, do you have dark vision?
Do I have dark vision? I'm pretty sure I do because I'm an ASMR. Yes, I do. 60 feet of it.
Okay. That's good enough to see into a rock. In that case, then yes, you do see. Very, very hard to see because it only gives you dim light. But you can see far inside of the rock itself, and as you can kind of see inside, it doesn't go all the way through. It kind of ends about in the middle. Yeah, it kind of ends about in the middle, and it's very smooth. So, very unlikely for it to have been carved out.
It's not carved. Then either it was like this before, or something came out. What do you think? Swift is gone. Okay. Well,
We're just checking out the house.
Oh, you're checking out the house?
Oh yeah, he's being stealthy.
Okay. We'll get to you in a minute then. Were you about to say this?
No, she was just about. That was just the thing. She was like, what do you think? Swift is gone. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, where did he go? Such a handsome little fellow.
Oh, God. Fifth will, So there's nothing else of interest in the rock?
Not that you can see. It looks like a long tube that kind of goes all the way to where the middle of it would be. Actually, no, just a little bit beyond that.
Okay.
And it's only 2 feet wide, so you really can't get a good look inside if it. Well, actually, no, it's about the size of a head, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
But the way a tube is, you can't really get a good look inside from the tube. You can only see what that tube allows you to see into. So it just kind of ends abruptly, if there is any, like, more to it than that.
All right, then. Linju, keep an eye out, please.
Alright.
Oh, most definitely.
Swift! What are you doing?
I am now trying to open the door. I'm checking the door of this house that I'm standing in front of. Is it locked?
I believe you're at the chimney. So yes, the chimney is locked.
Oh, I'm at the chimney? Oh. Oh, I thought that was a door. But, we're gonna go around. I'm gonna hop over the rocks.
You do see several windows though in the back where you are.
Okay. Oh,
Like two sets of windows on that side on the right side of it. So if you wanted to
where
peer
I
in,
was.
yeah, where you are. So if you wanted,
We'll take a peek. We'll take a peek inside.
over here. It's okay. So you peer over the window. Make a perception check.
It's a 22.
22. 21. No. Stupid.
Run.
Alright, with a 22. As you kind of peer over the windowsill inside, the room is dark. There are... Do you have dark vision?
Oh, I believe Kenkus have dark vision.
I don't think they do. Hold
But
on.
Opens book. Do.
Shoot book.
score improvement, languages.
No, you do not have dark vision.
No, I do not.
Okay.
But
Then as...
I do.
Oh?
I do have a lamp.
Do you light your lamp?
I will light my lamp.
You light your lamp. And the lamp shines, giving you a little bit of light in this dark, dreary area, allowing you to see just barely inside. Actually, how many feet does the lamp give you? Is it 20 feet?
It gives me. Hold on, let me get to it. It's a hooded lantern. Hooded lantern casts a bright light in a 30-foot radius and a dim light for an additional 30 feet.
So 60 foot total. Okay. That's a lot of fucking light. Alright, so, as you do up your lantern, a bright light shines off, and you can see inside, for the most part. There is a glare on the window from your lamp, so it makes it a little bit difficult, but you can kind of see inside. So what you see is there are several. There is a bed, a closet, not closet, a dresser. Several dressels, and everything looks to be in a state of unuse. Everything is fully closed. There's nothing appears to have been used for quite some time. There's a pretty thick layer of dust that even outside and just using the lantern you can kind of see. So this room appears to have been in a state of unuse for quite some time.
He is going to find his way in. Take a look around.
In here? Okay.
See if there's anything to find.
All right. The window isn't locked, so you just you manage to use your tools to kind of get up under it and lift it up, just enough for you to get your hands under and fully lift it up.
Yeah, use my dagger or my crowbar.
Oh, you have crowbar, even better. To lift it up fully, and you kind of slender inside.
Okay.
You look around, and it's basically what I already described to you. It appears to be a bedroom that hasn't seen use in quite some time.
He's going to investigate and try to find things in the house that maybe can be used, or
All right,
anything happen to the residents.
all right. Roll investigation. For this room. The door is closed, so you don't know what's
That's a
on.
natural 20.
Wow.
I
Yep.
got the first natural 20.
Got a nat 20, babe.
Wow.
Wow. Yep. So the door is closed, so you don't know what's on the other side of this room. But as you look through this room, you open up drawers carefully, slowly, trying to make as little noise as possible. You look under the bed, you look under the mattress. As you do find that most of the drawers are empty. They're all a set of sheets and extra bedding in one of the drawers. You find under the bed several objects of not really much use. You find an old box that has a spare pair of shoes in it. You find some more little knickknacks, like some old toys that have been put here for storage reasons. You look under the mattress, and under the mattress you find a small envelope that you open up, and you look inside, and in the envelope is about 20 gold.
Oh, take that 20 gold?
Alright. You take the 20 gold, and as you continue to look around, you do notice that they're all like old picture frames that are still hung up that are covered in dust, that kind of show this family. It looks to be an Arakaka family, a father, a mother, and about 6 children in various stages of childhood. You see what looks to be an elderly couple in the picture as well. And there's like several pictures, all of them kind of around the room covered in dust.
He takes a moment, looks around, and then he's going to try to open the door.
Alright, you try to open the door. The door's locked, but it's locked from this side, so you unlock it and you open it up. There is no light shining through from below the door, so you know that the next room is dark. You open it up. You make your way through, and you find yourself in a entryway that leads over to a fairly small living dining room area that has more furniture that is in a state of unuse. They're kind of covered up with like drapery and stuff. There's like a couch, there's a recliner, all of it kind of covered up, and there's a small like wood burning stove that is also in a state of misuse. And you see another door across from you that is also closed.
I would like to investigate some more.
Alright, go ahead.
First, I am going to cast Mage Hand. And I am going to use it to try to open the door.
Okay.
Can I be able to jiggle it?
Yeah. So you cast Mage Hand, and your Spectral Hand is cast. You're an Arcane Rogue. Do you have the Mage Hand that doesn't require a verbal component? Arcane Rogue gets that, right? I'm not making that up, am I?
I believe so, yes.
Do you have that yet, or do you get that later?
No, I think no, I got it. When you cast Mage Hand, you can make a spectral hand invisible, to retrieve objects, or use thieves' tools to peg locks and disarm traps at range. You can disguise this with a sleight of hand check.
Does it say anything about not needing a verbal component?
Bonus action granted by your cunning action to control the hand. No, it does not.
Okay.
Hold on.
I swear that was a thing. Maybe it's because whenever I use that, I always combine it with sorcerer, so I get that solo spell.
I'm pretty sure it's an arcane trick. Let me check.
I think it is.
have a-
It might be later. It might be a later thing. But I feel like they get that. Anyway, as you do that, nothing seems to happen. You cast your spell, you say the incantation, and your spectral, well, actually your invisible hand, floats off. It grabs onto the door. It is locked.
Well, he's his spectral hand towards him and hand it his thieves' tools.
Alright.
And he's going to pick the lock.
Alright. Your invisible hand comes back, grabs the thieves' tools, floats away, and you hear the subtle of your spectral hand unlocking a door. Roll sleight of hand. 16. That is enough. And your hand unlocks the door fairly easily. You hear the little click of a lock unlatching.
Oh wait, how do you do expertise with thieves' tools?
Really, the teleconnect thing does that?
Got his expertise for.
With expertise, you would put a 2 instead of a 1.
On sleight of hand?
Yeah, on sleight of hand. Oh wait, do you not have it for sleight of hand? Do you have it just for the thieves' tools?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we'll just have to keep that in mind. So it's.
I should get another expertise later on, so I can do it for sleight of hand.
Or you could just make another macro for it individually. That also works. So you get an extra
2 at this level.
Extra 2. I always forget. Extra 2. So you have an 18 then. Okay. So either we'll just remember or you.
I remember it.
Yeah, we'll either just remember or you can make a new macro that has it. 18. Okay. Still works. Still unlocks. Still got it. Works even better actually.
Just rogue training. I unlocked it. Good. Now unlock it better.
Alright, you unlock the door. What do you do now?
Investigate all the open areas now.
Ah, okay. Roll investigation.
23.
23. Alright, as you look around in this basically living room, dining room area, there isn't much of value in it. There's several lanterns about that haven't really been used. They are full of fluid. I'm forgetting the name of kerosene. Maybe that's it. Oil. We've struck oil. There's a couch that is kind of got this drapery over it as it's no longer in use. There's a recliner, rocking chair kind of deal that is in the same kind of state of having a cloth over it. There's a wood stove, that's basically what the chimney is, that doesn't have any fuel in it. There's no fuel around it, so it appears to also not be in use. There's a dining room table with some chairs around it pushed in. You check the cabinets that they're all cabinets. They all appear to be empty. There's no food. There's no goods of any kind left in here. You open up one of the drawers and you do find some little knickknacks. You find a pair of scissors, a few knives, and other cutlery that were left in here. There's an old spinning wheel for wool, and there's next to the recliner. There is a little end table that has a woven basket with some knitting materials inside of it.
Nice little knitting basket. I think I might take some string. I'll always use string.
Alright, you take a bundle of yarn.
So you can use that for traps. Or any warning systems or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he ninja.
Ninja.
So he's gonna then go into the room that he unlocked. Or did we already cover that?
Oh no, we haven't got to that yet.
So he will pick up the bundle of string. And he's going to take a look into the room that he unlocked.
Alright. You open up this last door and you look inside. And inside are several smaller beds. Bunk beds. Kind of stacked on top of each other. There's two of them on either side, kind of stacked up. So enough room for 4 people comfortably. There's several cabinets, a chest, an old wooden chest, kind of placed in. Several pictures, kind of lined up along the wall. Depicting these same family from earlier.
Well, this seems like a nice family. Wonder what happens to them. Wonder why they left all the photos. It says as he makes his way out of the building.
Back through the window? Or the front door?
To the front door.
Okay. Through the front door. Doop. Alright, you make your way out and you see a long tail next to this massive boulder. Don't see Thief because he's across from the massive boulder.
See a what? Oh.
Long tail.
Oh.
Or as I like to call him, the boy.
The
The
boy.
boy.
It the boy.
The boy.
That boy.
It's a boys. My favorite cigar.
Okay.
Shark bait. Hoo ha.
Now he will take, and before he goes into. Oh, there we go. There it is.
Oh, that?
Yeah, I was trying to do. Before I go into this building, I would like to take my hand, or take and check out the boulder. But first, I'm gonna put the lantern out real quick. So I save up on, because it's supposed to be like it
Oil.
can be lit up for 6 hours on one oil.
Yeah.
So I
And
do
I'd
that.
say looking through all of that probably took you about 30 minutes. There wasn't a lot to really look through. So I'd say it took you about, 15. You're good at what you do. So 15. We'll say 15.
Then Juju's out by the boulder muttering to himself.
Mm.
Basically, it took you as long enough to go through that as it did for them to look at the rock. Well, Thief to look at the rock. Investigate the rock.
14.
14. All right. What are you looking for exactly? Anything in particular?
For any any oddities, like something came out, or
All right.
is it like hollow?
All right. And are you using your mage hand for any of this?
Yes. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna use my mage hand.
Okay.
Just in case.
So as you check around the boulder, the boulder has a massive hole.
Da 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 da.
And in fact, the boulder does have a massive hole, a 2-foot hole. That you find that is opposite of. I need to learn your first name if I keep calling you Longtail. Linju. And so you find the same hole that they found earlier. It's pretty obvious. And it's this 2-foot wide hole, which is more like a tube because it goes deep into the boulder.
Meanwhile, from the other side of the rock, and then it had to be raining, so now, of course, the fates have to tempt me.
It's like a white foot. No, hold on. A wet white fur contest. It didn't really work right. I tried. Didn't really work. Anyway.
I hate to be a Debbie Downer,
Yeah.
but I gotta head out soon.
Yeah. Do you have time to finish up the last 30 minutes or so?
I don't think I do because the people who are over right now, they're using my room to sleep.
Oh.
And it's currently midnight.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Understandable then.
I'm so sorry, guys.
That's fine.
Just tell me what you were going to do next, and we can finish up the last 30 minutes with you two. And that way I know what you would do next. That way we don't kind of cross over you with whatever you were about to do.
Fifth was just gonna check out this house over here.
Okay, so
and whatnot.
for now, I'm going to say the house is off limits. Because
Okay.
Steph would have checked that out before any of you did. So
Good luck.
that's how we'll work
Alrighty.
this out.
So sorry, guys. Thank you so much. I hope to see everyone next week.
Yeah, I hope you have fun.
Yeah.
I hope you're
Thanks.
enjoying it.
Yeah. Again, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. I get it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. So, what are you two doing?
I'm gonna investigate the other house.
All right. The building behind you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to the building behind you. Linju, are you doing anything?
For the most part, just keeping watch, like Thiff asked him to, just to make sure like nobody's trying to sneak up on them or not, or
Okay.
the best visibility anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Make a perception check.
Yeah, his thoughts are elsewhere.
It's raining. It doesn't appear to be anyone else other than you three, apart from the chickens that'll and the sheep. Other than them, it doesn't appear to be anything else.
just imagine Linju's talking to a chicken as he's like quote unquote talking to himself. Of course I'm trying to remain professional, but at the same time...
At the same time, he wants to get in bed with us.
Scratches. Peck start.
Swift is going to check on the door.
Alright, the door to this place is locked with a padlock on the outside.
Get them thieves' tools.
Right?
19 plus 2, that is 21.
21. No! Stupid. I still love that. I don't know why I love it, but I love it.
Stupid.
What's 9 plus 10? 21? No, you stupid. Alright, 21? Yeah, more than enough. The lock is a simple padlock. You put your thieves' tools in and it easily unlocks.
Light that lantern back up and walk inside.
Alright, you walk inside, and inside is a plethora of farming supplies. It appears to be a supply shed. Those wheelbarrows, those pitchforks, those sickles, scythes, a plethora of different farming equipment. Plows, feed for animals.
He is going to investigate.
Shears. Alright, roll investigation. 11.
11.
Yeah, you look around. It appears to be a farm supply shed filled with different farming supplies. Axes. Whole plethora of things.
How many sickles are there?
About 3.
I think he's going to take those sickles.
All 3 sickles? All 3 sickles? Alright, you take all 3 sickles.
Great, now he has enough that he ties the rope together. He's got a makeshift grappling hook.
Hopefully. It's also steel chains, a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, anything you could think of that would be on a farm is in here. No horseshoes, though. No horseshoes. Nails, hammers, screwdriver.
I think that's it for now.
Alright. You make your way back out. What do you do?
That is a salacious thought, but you know, it's something worth contemplating. Well, that's just splitting hairs. Splitting hairs. What a weird turn of phrase.
He walks around and just looks at the man. What on earth are you doing?
Huh?
He's currently got several chickens and a sheep next to him.
Making friends?
Meh. And it's raining. So the animals stink. Wet wool. Not good.
I've smelled worse things.
Anyhow, I will relay information now. Apparently the family that we used to live here no longer lives here anymore. Been like that for a while, apparently.
Oh, actually, with a 13, and you being here now, you would actually notice something. You would notice that the house that Theft canonically is already headed to does have one set of lights on.
Oh. He is going to check that out.
I think Thiff was already going in there. I'm not sure what she's found yet.
Yeah, canonically, Theft is already either in there or headed that way. So we can say you look inside, but until she can actually play through that, I don't want to like have y'all do too much stuff because time warping shenanigans. But if you want to look through the window, yeah, that's fine.
Linju has an audience of animals now, and he just starts reenacting some of his favorite scenes from some of his favorite books.
Actually, he's going to approach.
Approach which one?
Yeah. He's gonna approach the Linjin.
Literally comes up on Linju as he's just starting on a monologue. And Hawk here in this foul tarnished rain that we have.
Meh.
Oh, you're back. Hi.
Hi. Well, and he's gonna put out his lantern and stow it. Well, seems to be pretty strange. There used to be a family of Aerocockerels that lived here. Everything's locked up. Most of their things are gone, except they left the pictures for some reason.
They left the pictures.
They left the pictures.
They look like they left in a hurry.
Not really. I mean, there was toys and certain other things that were left behind, but mostly, like, most of their stuff was gone. Did it look like it left in a hurry?
No. Everything looks like it was made up to, with care. Everything in the house looked like it was put up with, time to spare.
So I want to assume that this probably happened, that this thing this rock was pretty much put here sometime after they left. At least I hope.
To be that individual, but I found that, well, consider it a novelist's opinion, but do you happen to search for any sort of, I don't know, hidden cellar?
Was there any sign of a hidden cellar with any of my checks?
In that house. No, not in that house. No.
No, there was no cellar.
And can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
When you said there was a light on in the house that Thiff went into, was that before or after Thiff went in?
Before. You really haven't noticed it because you're distracted.
Fair enough. I am very distracted.
Now he's even more distracted now that Swift has appeared.
Salacious thoughts intensify.
He kind of looks up at the serpent. Are you always this what's the word? Cocksure?
An interesting turn of phrase, to be sure.
Okay.
Indeed. I suppose it would be behoove of me to ask, what exactly you mean by that?
He kind of narrows his eyes at him. It's like, you've been checking us out the entire time since we first met.
Well, you are quite fascinating specimens of your respective species, to be sure.
I meant more along the lines of salacious. More like you're looking for a certain kind of companionship.
Oh, I'm always looking for companionship, but it's the dependency of how far each individual wants to take that companionship. That is completely up to you, my feathered friend. And Linger will wink at him.
Though crudely delivered, you do have a certain bit of charm about you. And I'm not gonna lie, the Countess over there is quite lovely. But I'm not as brash as you to say it out loud. At least, not in the manner of which you did.
It comes with the territory, unfortunately. Let's say that, for now, there's proper reason that certain members of my family and I do not see eye to eye.
I pretty much lost my family, or I don't even know what my family was like. The only family I've known is the clan.
I'm sorry to hear that. As strange as I am for mine, family is... it's a good thing. It is good that you found a different type of family, but it'll never quite be the same, I suppose.
How can it be the same when pretty much the clan has been the only family I've ever known?
Well, to be frank, I think that the clan has more reasonable expectations of you. And Linja will kind of smirk.
They usually do.
Family tends to have more unreasonable expectations from good places, but misguided all the same.
And I usually deliver upon those expectations.
Oh, it's so easy sometimes with normal families. And for a moment, Linju's smile kind of becomes slightly melancholic.
Anyway, so what did you get from your friends here? I pointed at the chickens and the sheep.
Most of it, there's about 7 different variations of clucking that chickens can do.
Too bad we can't talk to them.
Now that would be an idea.
This is gonna sound really dumb. Hold on. Would that even work in this case?
What?
I think looking for proficiency languages. What's the bird language? Is it Orin?
Oh, well, bears don't really have a language, but there is Aaron, which is an elemental language that some, I believe, actually, I don't know if Arakaka speak. I don't know if they have their own language. They might, but I'm not sure. But, I think Ergonasi may speak it. Again, not too sure about that one.
I was thinking about trying to speak to the chickens, but I
Yeah,
think
that would need like speak with animals or something like that. Aaron is an elemental language.
One more level. One more level.
Just one more level, man. I just did that one level. Meh. All right.
he will turn and look at the serpent and says, "Oh, by the way, if you think I would go down so easily in your conquest, so to speak, keep in mind I may not be very strong as far as you, but I have ways of ending up on top, so to speak."
Oh, well, Mr. Indigo, let me simply explain it this way. I would hardly find it entertaining if it was easy. And, if I wind up on the bottom of the situation, that's no skin off my tail.
Okay, now what else? I'm just going along with this. It's like, hey, it's fun.
Linju is a very salacious serpent.
It tries. Not really. All right. Yeah, I think we'll actually call it though, without Bullman here to do the whole thing and us not like stopping over that. So I think we'll just call it here. A little early, which can't be helped. But anywho,
I'm more than happy to end on an innuendo.
always.
Always.
Yeah. So that I'm gonna go for it.
Yay.
That is session 1.
Yeah, awesome.
I hope you enjoyed.
I did. Now I'm off to get supper.
Food!
Yeah, I gotta get ready for work. I'm super excited because, like I said, I've been plotting this character for 5 months now.
Oh no. Be ashamed if he perished. No. Yeah. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. And I'm glad y'all were interested in playing.
Yay!
Yep, so next session will be next week. So far, that hasn't changed at all.
Yep. Okay.
Same time, same place. Alright, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Next time
Farewell.
on Village of Shadows.
And Village of Shadows.
The
Does
Village of
Linju
Shadows.
get laid?
No. The answer may not surprise you. Alright, but yeah. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for playing. It's been a good time as always. And I'll see you next time.
Yep. See you next week, Ship.
Farewell.
Farewell!
Alright, and that will be it for us as well. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed. If you're not doing so already, subscribe to the channel. Click that like button. And ding that little bell so you'll be notified when I post again. And I'll see you all again for Village of Shadows next time. Farewell!